So, good morning. No, it's good afternoon. And we're back at the same spot where my spoke failed last time for part 2. So let's go. So you know where we're going? We're going to the Pyrenees. I mean, officially they're the pre-Pyrenees, but they're big, they're rocky, they look like the Pyrenees. They are the Pyrenees. Who's heard of the pre-Pyrenees, for goodness sake? Now, today is, I must say, more laced with trepidation rather than anticipation. I suspect I may have some spoke issues again. Let's hope not. I didn't really mean to stop in this town, so I don't even know what it's called. It's got a nice church tower. So I didn't really know I was going to break down last time. So though I promised only one story about Lleida in part 1, there was another story I just wanted to tell. It was only a little one. No history, well, it is history, it's my own history. And that was when we first came out to Spain. We came out in a old Series 3 Land Rover soft top, ex-army. And we came down through France, and it was quite a long journey. It took us a few days. It was slow, not least because we only had 4 gears. It was packed with all our worldly possessions. And we came down through France, we stopped at Bordeaux, then we made the push for the Pyrenees, and we started up the Pyrenees, and as we got further and further, we got slower and slower, until at the very top, the poor Land Rover was, well, tired. And as we were assuming we would make it the whole way to our house that we bought in Catalonia that day, but we got to Lleida, and that was when the gearbox froze and we were stuck in second. So not surprisingly, we decided to stop and go to a garage in the morning. And we got up in the morning, everything was still there, even though we're in the middle of a city, which was very, very nice. And we got in the car, and in the Land Rover, and it was absolutely perfect. There were no problems at all, and we drove on. We never fixed that fault. Never. The first 20 kilometres of this are going to be incredibly boring because there's nothing really of interest between Lleida and Balaguer. So what I should have done is start the trip today in Balaguer, but that would have been cheating. I intended to start from Lleida, so that's part 1, and now I can continue from where that was thwarted. I realise you might want to see a agricultural northern Catalonian town. This is Termens. It's got a pizzeria. I swear to you, 4 kilometres ago it was 12 kilometres to Balaguer, and it's still 12 kilometres to Balaguer. So in training for this day, I eschewed the usual training of pizza and wine the night before, and instead I went out on what is called a hike. Now, to the uninitiated, a hike has got nothing to do with a bike. It's very different. It caught me out because there was no bike at all. I had to use my feet, and there were mountains. It's 2.5 hours of bloody hard work. But in no way did it prepare me for this. To be one of the dullest, straightest roads I've ever been on, at least on my bike. But you can see the mountains now behind, I hope. I'll come off in a minute. I've had enough of this. Much more interesting. Bendier than I was expecting too. I'm not going to stand in front of it this time. So this is Balaguer. This is a Gothic bridge which was destroyed in the Civil War, and they've painstakingly rebuilt as was. And up behind is some old thing, and there's an old wall, some old houses, and can I waddle into view of the old church? There's an old church, and this is the River Segre, and a duck, lots of ducks, marvellous. I'll tell you what I should have told you in Balaguer, and about Gaspar de Portola. He was actually the man who founded both San Diego and Monterey in California. Balaguer, came from Balaguer. The other vaguely interesting thing about Balaguer is that it was taken from the Moors, not by our old pal, Ramon Berenguer IV. It was taken 40 years earlier, when Ramon Berenguer IV was barely a twinkle in the eye of Ramon Berenguer III, I'd imagine, by a guy called Ermengarde the Sixth, who was Count of Urgell. Am I saying that without spitting all over the camera? Now these hills, as I understand it, are gypsum. A lot of maize around here. It is, are you ready? It's amazing. I'm not quick enough to show you, but there are gorges. They're very, very narrow, but up in behind you can see the higher peaks of the Pyrenees. So this range goes up to 950 meters. The next range is 1400, and the one after that contains the Pic Aneto, which is the highest in the Pyrenees, which is 3,404 meters, which I think is 11,800 feet. That looks like it's going to fall right on my head. Wow. This is still the River Segre, obviously dammed somewhere down that way. It's beginning to head up now. We've also got some of these beautiful autumnal colours. Definitely beginning to look Pyrenean to me. I swear the Orbea is smiling. So this road is currently at 230 meters, and by fabulous timing, cliff that I'm talking about has been obscured by trees. Hold on, it's hoving into view. That is 740 metres. So that's over 500 metres between here and there. And we are continuing on into those mountains, but first we're doing a slight detour. Or at least I hope we are, if it's not barricaded off. Here's a barrier. I go around it with my special device called a bicycle. Let's see. It's not the most welcoming. Let's see if we can manage it. Now this officially goes to the confluence of the Noguera and the Segre, and it's supposed to be very, very beautiful. It wasn't supposed to be blocked off, but it actually follows the river along. And later on we'll be up on the other side and going through some very dangerous looking tunnels to get to the top. Oops. So it's back to the main road for us and up the other side. bit I'm most worried about is the almost vertical black section that's being indicated on my Garmin. Hope it's well lit. That's the end of that side. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad at all. Very well lit. Feel perfectly safe. It's quite steep. Part 1. Oh, that's the spillway. Is it too dark to see? Oh, fantastic. Part of a cave. Look at that. I've got a red light. So I'll take some nice shots while the lights are red. It's a temporary traffic light, so I don't know what's going on. We're off and I wasn't ready. I wanted to show you that waterfally thing down there. I really hate anything above 8%. This is 9 and it's enough for me, thank you. Got another 1.6 kilometers to go for my arbitrary turning around point. It's taken me this many years to get to the Pyrenees. I've got to have a fair crack at one, haven't I? Needn't have worried about the traffic, had I? There's been a motorbike and there was the car that I was behind at that stop sign. And that's all there's been for about 5 kilometers. And a fly, one fly that really likes me. Hello, Garmin says enough. So that's enough for me. So we're at the top of this first pass. And this is the Rio Noguera. So we just come off the C13 and we're now on to what passed for the C13 centuries ago. It's this little road. It takes us almost all the way back to Balaguer. I doubt we'll see another car. So we're saying goodbye to the Pyrenees, only for a short while, because I've got plenty more planned, almost all of them in this direction. Almost all of them downhill out of the Pyrenees. But yeah, I just think it'd, show more quickly than if I was going up. It's overblown, isn't it, going up? And you can go down. I wasn't expecting it to be quite so rolling. I mean, this could be England. Well, apart from the olive trees and the sun. Strange the things you miss. I miss deciduous trees and stubble. Absolutely cracking little road. I wish there was a zoom on this camera. That red brick building, the roof is completely covered in pigeons. You might be able to see it's grey. It's not, it's a red roof. It's covered in pigeons, hundreds of them, just on that one roof. So we're currently running parallel to the Pyrenees, which are just They're just over there, they're not far, 15-20 kilometres. And we've got this strange hill running parallel to them, made up of a strange soft rock. It's a moraine. Who did O-level geography? It's a terminal moraine that got pushed here by a glacier that during the Ice Age pushed out of those Pyrenees. I'm completely off script now. My Garmin says I should have turned right, but when I looked at Google Maps, Google Earth, I thought it said come this way. So that's what I'm going to do. I thought I was doomed to the C12 for the last part of my journey, but just before it met the main road, this road turned through 90 degrees and we're off again. Off the main road, in the orchards, in amongst the fields, having a lovely time. I think we should. There's a left turn. Let's take it. It's even a cycle path now, apparently. Must lead somewhere. Some vehicles. I don't think I've got to go very far. I just need to find a left turn and a bridge, and we're laughing. I was on it for about 200 metres. And there's a sign that says, well, some towns I thought were on the other side of the river, so fingers crossed. Ha-ha! A bridge. Whoa, not before time. My body's a bit sore. That's nice. Can't see the river, I can hear it. Somewhere. It's got to be here somewhere. I do recognise this though.